Are you gearing up to make your 2021 business plan? If that's you, you have got to listen to this episode where I talk about one of the most overlooked part of your business plan, that if you focus on this, you're going to eliminate tons of clutter from 2021, and you are going to dramatically improve your chances of making bank and loving the process. Let's dive in. So here's the question. In a world where the rules of business have been written by men, how do women entrepreneurs like us, women who want to make millions of dollars and impact millions of lives, how do we create enormous success on our terms? That's the question, and this show explores the answers. Welcome to Power Presence Position. I'm your host, Eleanor Beaton, and I'm on a mission to double the number of women entrepreneurs who generate over $1 million per year in annual revenue. I'm an award-winning entrepreneur, author, and leadership coach. I'm a wife, mom of 2 boys, and I'm the CEO of a 7-figure business. Stick around, because on this show, you'll learn how to think, communicate, and get paid like a 7-figure CEO. Let's go. Hello, my fierce friends. Eleanor Beaton here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Now, if all goes according to plan, by the time you listen to this episode, I will have returned from a gorgeous 2-day personal retreat / deep thinking / 2021 planning session with myself. And that's going to be really awesome. So hopefully, and I say hopefully because we're heading back into some shutdowns. So I'm just not sure if I'm actually going to be able to make it to a hotel for a getaway, or if I'm going to try to patch together some form of retreat / getaway in my own home. Look, I have a family. There's a family of 4. There's not much retreating you can do in my house right now. But I digress. I want to take a moment to thank one of our fierce listeners, Dakota Dawn Johnson, who gave us a 5-star review, said, "Savvy, straight talk, and encouragement." Dakota says, "I so enjoy listening to Eleanor share her experiences, mindset, and guests on the Power Presence Position podcast. She is smart, savvy, and full of straight talk and encouragement. Thank you, Eleanor, for your refreshing style, openness, and using your voice to empower all of us." Dakota Dawn Johnson, thank you so much for taking the time to leave this review. I so experience it. I so appreciate it. I experience it and I appreciate it. So thank you so much. All right. So what was I doing at this business planning retreat? The reality is I was sleeping in. I was reading my books and just enjoying life and having baths and ordering room service and all the things. That's what I've got planned. Oh my gosh, I just can't wait to be fancy in a hotel by myself. That's one of the things that I miss so much about not traveling. It's weird. It's like being fancy in hotels by myself. You know, having solitude where there's just a lot of buzz and people around you. I love that. It reminds me who I am. And I haven't had a lot of that this year, so I'm really looking forward to it. But anywho, I know that if you're listening to this show, you are probably some form of planner. You know, you do some form of planning. And the interesting thing too is that that's a good thing. So studies have found that people who do have a plan in place typically grow faster. In fact, one study of over 11,000 small businesses. Now, this study was done in 2010, but I don't know that that would change much in the ensuing 10 years. A study of 11,000 businesses found that those who had plans in place, tended to grow significantly faster. In some cases, up to 30% faster than those businesses that didn't have a plan. And that makes sense. But here's the thing. From all my years of creating plans and all my years of working with entrepreneurs on their plans, so much of what is in the plan is ineffective unless you have that glorious gift of ruthless self-discipline. You know, most of what we do is ineffective. And so when people start talking about taking hustle out of their lives and having both kind of outward riches, but also that inward prosperity, of having time to create, to be content, to feel grateful, to deepen your relationships with people that you love, all of that good stuff. Having the time to do that, one easy way to get it is to become a fanatical student of what makes you successful and what makes businesses successful. And that's what this podcast is really all about. It's about the most important part of your 2021 business planning that you are probably overlooking. Okay? So here's the deal. If you're like most entrepreneurs, you will fill your strategic plan with lots of activities that produce very limited results. And you will also likely devote too little time to the one thing that generates all the value in your business. Now, I have high respect for you and hold you in high regard. So this is not to diminish your extraordinary talents and expertise as a leader. This is how humans roll. We complain endlessly about not having enough time, not having enough money, and then we turn around and waste appalling amounts of both of those things. But there is one element of your 2021 plan that if you were to invest time in this one area, you would get mega payback. And I'm about to tell you what it is, but first, a principle of business. So here's the thing. In any industry or niche, the top 3 players get all the spoils. All the spoils. This is why 87% of all internet searches happen on Google. It's why 70% of all ride sharing happens on Uber. It's why the Fortune 500 companies account for about 2/3 of US GDP, while the remaining 11 million duke it out for the rest. Simply put, every niche has a king or a queen. And the queen of that niche usurps the fattest profits to fill her ever-growing gold coffers, while the minions battle with grimy hands and sweat-stained clothes for every remaining scrap. And I don't know about you, but grimy hands and sweat-stained clothes, having to wear those suckers in and out, day in and day out, that's super gross. So that's why the single task that will drive the most value for your company in 2021 is to refine your niche and market position. That's it. Because when you get really clear on your market position, on where that is, that gives you something you can own, and you can become the queen of that specific territory and claim all the spoils, rather than being, in another analogy, is a red ocean where there's tons of competitors in your space, right? This is why niching is so important. And it's not just niching, but really claiming your market position. So anything that you can do to get clearer on that. And there's questions, I find that quiet reflection, spending some time in quiet reflection, and then taking time to speak to really sort of rational, strategic thinkers who understand the world of business and growing business, who understand the principles and fundamentals, that those conversations are so enriching when it comes to kind of thinking this through. Nobody can tell you what it is. You've got to choose it. You've got to want that land. You've got to want that territory, and you want it to be empty. You don't want to usurp it from somebody else. You want to create something that's yours and yours alone. And this is really important because, I think about how so many of us actually have, we have businesses, and a lot of people do the same things that we do. There's a lot of women out there who offer business coaching, or a lot of people, a lot of alternatives to what I offer. But in my area, with respect to my brand and my market position, I'm in a class of my own, right? To my people, I'm the only alternative, the only choice, right? So I want you to think about how you start. And so the way that you do it is really, where am I untouchable? What is my zone of genius as a person, but also as a company? What are we truly amazing at? I was talking to one of my clients today who is a leadership, has a leadership, it's a strategy. It started out as a strategy consulting firm, and it continues to do that. And the zone of genius really is leadership coaching. And inside of that, the zone of genius is helping leaders wade through tremendously difficult times. Dude, that's a really cool, let's see how niche that is. That's a category, right? That's a category. That's a zone of genius that can be leveraged and exploited and accentuated so that this company has the number one market position, right? And leaders know when they need to go and work with this company. Fascinating, super fascinating. So the single task that's going to drive the most value for your company in 2021 is to really refine your niche and market position. This is the reason we say that the riches are in the niches, because it is factually true. Take a look at every industry. There is a kingpin or a queenpin, and that company takes home all the spoils. So here's the thing, and I'm going to hit you with an offer here. As a loyal listener to the podcast, as somebody who, and I know there's thousands of you, around the world who listen to this show, who are picking up what I'm putting down. And what I know to be true is that today you are probably going to spend up to 45 minutes doing things like surfing Instagram, refreshing your email, crafting social media posts that maybe don't accomplish much. In other words, if you're a normal human CEO, you are very likely to squander time on ticky things that don't make much money. On the other hand, you could reserve 45 minutes to have a consultation with my team about what actually drove results for you in 2020 and how you can refine your market position in 2021. And here's the thing, I can guarantee you we will not have all of the answers, but we can ask you some really powerful questions because chances are you have a lot of those answers. You just need some perspective and to think about it in a different way. And when you do this thinking and this work through a guided conversation like this, it allows you to be the queen of your niche. It allows you to command fat profits and feel totally gorgeous in the knowledge that you are investing your most precious assets in the few things that make all the difference. This is the vital few and the trivial many. If you want to start bringing a lot less hustle to your life and more profits, it's really about starting to concentrate on, look, where can I be the queen? What can I release? And what am I going to stop doing because it's a big freaking waste of my time? Now, again, what I have found is that it's almost impossible to determine your unique market position in isolation. This is something where it's really powerful to be able to have conversations with people, to talk things through, to answer questions, to help you access the power of your own experience and perspective with respect to your business, to really help you see where you truly stand out. You can't read the label from inside the bottle. So that's where my offer to you today comes in. I am inviting you to schedule a debrief call with my team. And so that call, it's a 45-minute call. It allows you to have a conversation with a really excellent coach to help you get clear on what was the one or two things that was most effective for you in 2020. Where are the gaps? What's missing truly? And where do you need to focus next? So that's what this call is. Is there a catch? No, there's not. But you must know that in having a conversation like this, first of all, we know that our mission is to have as many of these kinds of conversations as we can with women. If you go to eleanorbeaton.com/debrief, we pay careful attention to the results of these calls, how women entrepreneurs, the clarity they get from them, how they feel, the new insight that they have as a result. And, it's pretty impressive what the gains that they make as a result of these free consultations. And of course, it's a way for you to deepen your relationship with me and my company beyond being a podcast listener, which is amazing. P.S., by the way. And for some of you, it's about transitioning from being a podcast listener to potentially becoming a client. And so what do you have to lose? Truly. You know what I mean? What do you have to lose? Go to eleanorbeaton.com/debrief. Check out the overview on what those debrief calls are all about. We know that so many of you are making plans for 2021. And so this is just a really, really valuable use of your time to help you inject added clarity and also to explore how we might be able to support you in that. So I strongly encourage you to go and check it out. All right. Have an amazing rest of the day. Thank you so much for being a listener. You know, it's interesting. In the last few weeks, I have told you on the show about how I just kind of hit a wall in the fall and September. I had my surge capacity was seriously depleted, y'all. Okay. It was seriously depleted. And I started really practicing stoicism. So I have been reading some Marcus Aurelius early in the mornings. That's being super helpful. Really managing my own expectations of who I am and what I can accomplish, and that has been super helpful. But also, through this process, taking time every day to practice contentment and gratitude and laughter. And so those things have been a little bit of a game changer recently, and I'm feeling great. So anywho, just wanted to share that little also personal update with you. Thanks so much for listening. Oh, gratitude. That's right. And this was all a long-winded way of saying I'm super grateful to you for the reviews, for listening to the show, for helping us grow the show throughout 2020, for the emails that you get, the introductions and the referrals that you make to us. We are so appreciative, and that's myself and my entire team. So thank you, dear one. I so appreciate you for being here. Okay, let's get back to work. Have an awesome day. We'll see you this time next week. Same bat time, same bat place. Ciao for now. If you love this show, then you will love even more my missives, i.e., my emails. If you're not on my email list yet, I strongly encourage you to sign up at eleanorbeaton.com/join. Now, when you go and sign up for my email list, you will quickly discover why some of the most popular, well-known, and influential voices in the world of women's entrepreneurship quietly, studiously, consistently open every single email I send out, because they want to be inspired, they want to be entertained, and also I think they really want to connect with a woman like myself who's in full command of her voice and is willing to open up and share her thinking, her ideas, and her story. I promise you that on this email list, you are going to be entertained. You are going to hear really valuable tips about stepping into your power as a leader. And you're also going to get fun insight that I do not share anywhere else. Go to eleanorbeaton.com/join. And I promise you it will be the highlight of your inbox.